Dan Evans stuns home hope Bernard Tomic to follow Andy Murray into fourth round of Australian Open. Dan Evans beats Australian Bernard Tomic 7-5, 7-6, 7-6 to reach the last 16. World No. 51 will play his first ever fourth-round tie in a Grand Slam tournament. British star confronted the line judge about a member of the crowd in second set. A spectator appeared to be coughing as he went to serve in order to distract him. Evans forced play to stop after a rain shower midway through the third set. The unsponsored Evans faces 12th seed Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in the fourth round. Andy Murray also into fourth round after straight sets win over Sam Querrey. You can buy a lot of sports shirts with £139,000, and that is what Dan Evans has to spend in prize money after reaching the last 16 of a Grand Slam for the first time. Wearing the gear he bought himself, the 26-year-old from Birmingham defied a partisan crowd to beat home favorite Bernard Tomic 7-5, 7-6, 7 halves, 7-6, 7 thirds, in 2 hours and 48 minutes. Following up his win over World No. 7 Marin Cilic. He now meets French star Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, having followed up his final appearance in last week's Sydney International with 3 more victories. Evans wanted this more than the Mercurial Aussie, and showcased the wonderful hand skills that make up for his relative lack of inches. It is his second consecutive decent run at a Grand Slam after making the third round in New York last September. In an intriguing clash of styles, he held his nerve the stronger in both tee breaks, and fed off the atmosphere generated in a packed Hisense Arena. "I am happy with the shirts at the minute, but one of them shrunk in the wash," he said of the 18 he had to purchase at $20 a time in the local Uniqlo store. "I reckon they look alright. I should say thank you to the crowd, but it was tough. Bernard is difficult and unorthodox. He plays aggressive and then slows it down. I found it tough at first. I was just focused on the end goal and I'm happy to come through." Against the languid, sometimes infuriating Tomic, so talented he reached the last 8 of Wimbledon as a teenager, Evans was always going to have to be patient and try to take advantage of his tendency towards unforced errors. Breaks were twice swapped, despite the Australian regularly pumping aces past his diminutive opponent. Other than that, this was largely a game of cat and mouse with 2 players who caress the ball rather than hammer it in the modern way. Evans got the better to break for the first set and then compounded it by going 2-0 up in the second, his hand skills to the fore and sharp tennis IQ helping him pick the right time to rush the net. At 4-3 he became angered by a spectator coughing in the crowd while he was serving and demanded to umpire Emmanuel Joseph that he be removed. Evans held on, but it brought the crowd to a crescendo, and amid a Davis Cup-type atmosphere he created 2 set points at 5-3 but missed them with a forehand and when he was passed at the net. Tomic then got fired up and only 2 brave forehands from Evans saved him when 5-6, 15-40 down. In the ensuring tiebreak he was by far the more committed. Tomic became heavy-legged while the British No. 3, knowing that victory would put him ahead of Kyle Edmund at No. 2, was inspired. He took it 7-2 when Tomic dumped a forehand into the net with his notorious father John shaking his head at the side of the court. Given that the Australian had only played 1 match this year prior to the tournament and Evans 8, the British player will have fancied his chances if stamina became an issue. Tomic moved into the court and became more aggressive in the fourth set, which saw the breaks of serve dry up. There were signs of Evans tightening up a little, but he showed admirable resolve to attack with his forehand and save 3 break points at 4-4. A 10-minute rain delay occurred at 5-5, with Evans demanding play be stopped because the lines were slippy. In the tiebreak, Evans clinched an epic rally at 2-2 with a cross-court forehand. That turned the momentum and he moved up to 6-3 with a magnificent angled backhand volley before clinching it with 1 more netted Tomic forehand.